17. Justice Department. The Justice Department is presently organized into 8 offices: Legislative Affairs, Management and Finance, Legal Counsel, Policy and Planning, Public Information, the Community Relations Service, the Pardon Attorney, and the Executive Office for the U.S. Attorneys. 2 boards, Parole and Immigration Appeals, 6 prosecutorial divisions, Civil, Criminal, Antitrust, Tax, Land and Natural Resources, and Civil Rights, and 6 bureaus: FBI, Law Enforcement Assistance Administration, Drug Enforcement Administration, Immigration and Naturalization Service, the United States Marshals Service, and the Bureau of Prisons, Federal Prison Industries. Certain of these units have the potential for intelligence production, perhaps in the course of developing materials, in the case of the divisions, or by virtue of their particular information holdings, such as the files of the Immigration and Naturalization Service. The principal intelligence and investigative component within the Justice Department, however, is the FBI. Footnote: It should also be noted that the mandate of the Drug Enforcement Administration provides that agency with a specified intelligence function. End footnote. Both the Attorney General and the Director of the FBI have responsibilities for the coordination of intelligence activities within the department and with other federal agencies. Organizational efforts in service to this duty exhibited themselves in 1967 when Attorney General Ramsey Clark created the Interdivision Information Unit for, quote, reviewing and reducing to quickly retrievable form all information that may come to this department relating to organizations and individuals throughout the country who may play a role, whether purposefully or not, either in instigating or spreading civil disorders or in preventing or checking them, end quote. While this entity received and indexed information from a variety of sources, federal poverty programs, the Labor and Post Office Departments, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Neighborhood Legal Services offices, an Intelligence Evaluation Committee, composed of representatives from Justice, Defense, and the Service, was supposed to coordinate and evaluate the information, but proved to be a rather inactive entity. In July of 1969, Attorney General John Mitchell established the Civil Disturbance Group to coordinate intelligence, policy, and operations within the Justice Department with regard to domestic civil disturbances. Both the Interdivision Information Unit and the Intelligence Evaluation Committee were placed under the new panel's jurisdiction, and Mitchell asked the CIA to, quote, investigate the adequacy of the FBI's collection efforts in dissident matters, and to persuade the FBI to turn over its material to the CDG, end quote. In 1970, the moribund Intelligence Evaluation Committee was reconstituted with representatives from Justice, FBI, CIA, Defense, Secret Service, NSA, and late in its activities, a Treasury member. Technically, Robert Mardian, Assistant Attorney General for Internal Security, was chairman of the reconstituted panel, but White House counsel John Dean also played a leadership role with the group, and meetings were held at his office on various occasions. Quote, the IEC was not established by executive order. In fact, according to minutes of the IEC meeting on February 1, 1971, Dean said he favored avoiding any written directive concerning the IEC because a directive might create problems of congressional oversight and disclosure. Several attempts were nevertheless made to draft a charter for the committee, although none appears to have been accepted by all of the IEC members. The last draft, which could be located, dated February 10, 1971, specified the authority for the IEC as the Interdepartmental Actional Plan for Civil Disturbances, something which had been issued in April 1969 as the result of an agreement between the Attorney General and the Secretary of Defense. Dean thought it was sufficient just to say that the IEC existed by authority of the President, end quote. By the end of January 1971, a staff had been organized for the committee and did, quote, the work of coordination, evaluation, and preparation of estimates for issuance by the committee, end quote. For cover purposes, the IES was attached to the Interdivision Information Unit, even though the unit was not actually involved in the operations of the staff. Quote, the Intelligence Evaluation Committee met on only 7 occasions. The last occasion was in July 1971. The Intelligence Evaluation Staff, on the other hand, met a total of 117 times between January 29, 1971 and May 4, 1973. The IES prepared an aggregate of approximately 30 studies or evaluations for dissemination. It also published a total of 55 summaries called intelligence calendars of significant events. The preparation of these studies, estimates, or calendars was directed by John Dean from the White House or by Robert Mardian as chairman of the IEC, end quote. Both the IEC and the IES were terminated in July 1973 by Assistant Attorney General Henry Peterson. The department's principal intelligence and investigative agency, the FBI, currently employs over 8,400 special agents. Quote, all operations of the FBI are directed and coordinated through 13 headquarters divisions. Each of the headquarters divisions reports to either the Assistant to the Director, Deputy Associate Director, Administration, or the Assistant to the Director, Deputy Associate Director, Investigation, except for the Inspection Division and the Office of Planning and Evaluation, which report directly to the Associate Director. The field operations are carried out by 59 field offices located throughout the United States and Puerto Rico, end quote. Footnote: U.S. Congress, House, Committee on Appropriations, Departments of State, Justice, and Commerce, the Judiciary, and related agencies' appropriations for 1976, Department of Justice, Hearings, 94th Congress, First Session, Washington, U.S. Government Print Office, 1975, page 190, end footnote. Other special unit facilities of the Bureau include the FBI Laboratory, established in 1932, the FBI Academy for Training New Agents, created in 1935, and the National Crime Information Center, a computerized criminal information system operated by the FBI since December 1970. Quote, although the FBI relinquished overseas operations in 1946, the Bureau still maintains overseas liaison agents with other security and intelligence agencies to ensure a link between cases or leads which develop overseas but which come to rest in the continental United States. In the aftermath of the American intervention in the Dominican Republic crisis in 1965, there were reports that President Johnson had assigned FBI agents to certain missions on that island. If so, and the reports were never confirmed, such a mission was limited and temporary, end quote. At present, the Bureau maintains liaison posts in 16 foreign countries. There has also been a recent disclosure that the FBI periodically dispatches private citizens on intelligence-gathering missions outside of the United States. In January 1973, the Bureau reestablished its liaison section, which keeps in constant communication with other agencies of the intelligence community. Director Hoover had abolished the unit in September 1970, reportedly due to a dispute with the Central Intelligence Agency over a refusal to disclose an intelligence source. Responsible for criminal, civil, and internal security investigations, the FBI conducted 745,840 such probes in fiscal year 1974 and 774,579 such inquiries the previous fiscal year. Until his death on May 2, 1972, the Bureau was headed by J. Edgar Hoover. L. Patrick Gray III was named acting director the following day and ultimately nominated for the permanent position on February 17, 1975. Controversy over Gray's involvement in Watergate-related matters caused him to request the withdrawal of his nomination on April 5th, and he resigned as acting director on April 27th. He was succeeded by William D. Ruckelshaus, administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, who served as acting director until Kansas City, Missouri Police Chief Clarence M. Kelly, nominated June 7th, was confirmed to head the FBI on June 27, 1973. One other Justice Department unit which has exhibited increasing intelligence importance is the Drug Enforcement Administration. Created by reorganization plan in 1973, the agency is only beginning its intelligence operations and recently provided the following account regarding this aspect of its activities. Quote, "Our objectives with respect to the intelligence program have been to begin the routine production of strategic intelligence reports, to design and implement regional intelligence units, to build an intelligence-oriented database through the production of finished tactical intelligence reports, and to support our operations on the southwest border with a 24-hour-a-day intelligence center covering several regions and including several agencies. Results in these areas are indicated by the following facts. DEA has taken the lead in developing a set of national narcotic indicators which can be used by DEA, NIDA, National Institute on Drug Abuse, and SAODAP, Special Action Office for Drug Abuse Prevention, to monitor drug abuse trends. These national narcotics indicators include data from STRIDE, System to Retrieve Information from Drug Evidence, on the price, availability, and sources of heroin. Data from DAWN, Drug Abuse Warning Network, on emergency room visits of drug users, and data on serum hepatitis throughout the United States. When these systems are forged together with the NIDA systems and general surveys, they become a very powerful set of indicators on the drug abuse situation. Regional intelligence units have been established in every DEA regional office. These units have responsibilities not only for collecting intelligence information, but also for producing tactical intelligence products to be used at the regional level. Personnel in these units are being trained in the collection and analysis of intelligence information by DEA's training program. Through the first 6 months of fiscal year 1975, 160 analyses of drug networks, 1,877 profiles of specific traffickers, and 9,386 enforcement targets have been produced. These analyses represent the foundation of the National Narcotics Intelligence System. In the development of a national narcotics intelligence system, it is mandatory on DEA that a high level of liaison with other enforcement agencies, federal, state, and local, be maintained, and interchange of information with these agencies be developed. In terms of this requirement, I am particularly encouraged with the operation we call the Unified Intelligence Division of the New York Joint Task Force. This is a true interagency operation utilizing DEA agents, New York City and state police, and funded in part by an LEAA grant. The program succeeds in bringing combined drug information to bear on the traffickers in our most populous city and greatest area of drug abuse. This is Our Hidden History.